and gentlemen, in next about 30 minutes, I will be giving you a small presentation on a slightly different topic because you have been listening tunnels design analysis, but I think so far nobody has talked on ventilation. So this is a new concept of green tunnels. You must have heard about green buildings so far, but I will be telling you what is the concept of green tunnels and why this is important for us. So firstly, I dedicate this presentation to the fond memories of my scientific guru, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I have been his scientific disciple because when he was working on a technology called nuclear missile technology, he made nuclear weapons. We are nuclear powered nation today because of the scientists, great scientists like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So when he was working on this technology of nuclear missile in 1985. I was a young captain that time. I was just about 27, 28 year old, and I started working on a new technology, that is protection of our country against nuclear attack by our enemies. So this nuclear protection technology was developed by me in India, and I am lucky to say that this technology was practically used in our country when it was needed, and it came useful. There are very few lucky scientists and engineers like me who work on a research project. I did my PhD also on this that time, and most of the PhDs just remain limited to the libraries or other places, but my PhD topic was practically used for the safety of the country. After retirement, I worked on a different technology that is called pollution protection technology. So this pollution protection technology, as you know, today everywhere there is a problem of pollution, global warming, climate change. But this was the dream of my scientific guru, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam only. You remember the fateful day when he was giving lecture to the students at AIIM Ceylon on 27 July 2015. This was his topic of discussion. Livable planet Earth. That day he wanted to tell the world that there is danger in this world to this planet Earth, and better we should look after this planet Earth. But unfortunately he suffered a heart attack and we lost him that day. Now his dream, which was unfulfilled that day, I as his scientific disciple called Bunkerman of India has taken a pledge that we will fulfill his dream. So now the dream of our late missile man of India will be fulfilled by Bunkerman of India.
Nice, sir. Very nice to hear that, sir.
Yeah. Now coming to our topic, the tunnels and how we can use this technology in tunnels. So in tunnels, you see when the vehicles pass through the tunnels, all vehicles are emitting carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. These are some of the toxic gases which come out from the exhaust of the vehicles, and even particulate matters, the smoke and all come out of that. So when they pass through the tunnels, they keep accumulating inside the tunnels. And we of course design ventilation in tunnel engineering. We either take out this polluted air from exit to entry or from the center to both sides. But generally all these toxic gases, they get accumulated either near the exit or entry or both ends. And there the natural flora and fauna, they are spoiled. Because most of these tunnels, particularly highway tunnels, are constructed in very beautiful areas like J&K, Himachal, Uttarakhand. They are all green cities, green areas, beautiful places. But there have been some concerns about it that when we construct tunnels, development has to go. We have to construct road, we have to cut some hills also, part of it. But then they have to be developed back so that it matches the natural surrounding. So that is what is I am going to talk to you today. And also environmental impact of this is increased pollution degrades the flora and fauna, as you must have observed. And it is also resulting into global warming and climate change, no doubt about it. And third aspect where we can use this technology is for safety and survival kit for tunnels. During accident emergencies, like you must have heard of this Sinkyara tunnel accident. So we will be talking about this, what safety precautions we should have in future. Yeah, this you had witnessed where we could save about 40 workers who got trapped inside this tunnel, but ultimately we could save them, but almost entire nation was on this mission. So before we understand the concept of green tunnels, I want to explain you what is the concept of this Bunkerman technology, because this must be something first time you must be hearing. So gentlemen, as you know, global warming, climate change is taking place. But why it is taking place? It is taking place because in environment, greenhouse gases are increasing day by day. And out of all greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide is the main culprit. So if you see this chart in front of you, this chart shows you the carbon dioxide content in air from year 1000 to 2016. So if you see on the left side, 1000 year, then 1100, 1200, you come to 1900. Up to 1900 years, the CO2 content in air used to be only 280 parts per million, 300 parts per million. This God gave us, very good environment He gave us. But after 19th century, we started developing industries, more vehicles and everything. Then this graph kept on increasing. And today, world average has already become 425 parts per million. But in places like Delhi, we observe 500, 600, even 700 parts per million of CO2 in the environment. And what we have done, most of us, we have closed our doors and windows. You will be surprised to know yesterday, when we started this conference, outside CO2 content in Delhi, in your area, yesterday we measured, it is still 500, 600 ppm. But when we entered here, it was 1500 ppm. And by the time we broke off for lunch, you will be surprised, it was increasing 1500, 2000, I was observing 2200, 500, 600, 3000, 3100, 200, 500, 900. Ultimately, it was recorded 4200 parts per million in this hall. Why? Because this hall is totally sealed. There is only one door. Ventilation we have closed. And gentlemen, this is happening almost in all houses, all offices. This is not the only case in your. Yeah. And how dangerous it is? 4,000, 5,000 parts per million, I will show you. Now, this is the worry. If we don't do anything, now this rising trend has to be stopped. If we don't stop it, gentlemen, this is the same equation plotted. By 2200, outside environment CO2 content will become 5,000 parts per million. And what will happen at 5,000 parts per million? This is the chart. This is the chart given by Shri, all codes. They say that after about 700 to 1,000 parts per million, complaints of stuffiness and odors start coming. And it is permitted by code, even in air conditioned building like this, that CO2 content should not exceed more than 1000 ppm. But if it goes more than 1000, then general rosiness occurs, then adverse health effect start. Now what is the reading here, Geetika? Now?
1754.
Pardon?
1755.
Yeah, it is 1700 here, today. Yesterday, it increased to 4,200 and we will see by lunch time how many, because today people are less. Yesterday there were about 29 people here in this hall. So we will see. So now you can see where 1,700 is there. You can see adverse health effect. So we are already sitting in a gas chamber. This is a live example, practical example I am giving you. And this is all a health hazard. We are spoiling our health. Because the CO2, body needs oxygen. And we are giving more CO2. So this acts as a slow poison. And that is the reason most of the ailments, new ailments are coming. We are falling sick day by day. And see what will happen at 5,000 and beyond. It may lead to serious oxygen deprivation, resulting into permanent brain damage, coma, or even death. And gentlemen, this 5,000 parts per million upper limit is only 8 hours. You can bear it only for 8 hours. After 8 hours, this may happen to you. Serious oxygen deprivation, brain damage, coma, or even death. And that is why the whole world is worried now. Because as per this chart, by 2200, outside in the environment, CO2 content will become or exceed 5000 parts per million. Continuously it will remain. You have to live in this permanently, not only for 8 hours. So what will happen? There will be no life on this earth left after 2200. So probably we may live, our next generation may live comfortably, but next to next generation living is doubtful. And even if they live, in what condition they will live? They will be more sick, more ailments will come, and life will be miserable for your future. And that's why whole world is talking of carbon capture, global warming, climate change now. Now what was happening for all these years? From year 1000 to 1900, we were living happily. Why we were living happily? Because this was the cycle. If you see on the left, there are trees and plants. On the right, we human beings with our pet animals. So whatever CO2 we were generating, it was being absorbed by trees and plants, by the natural system on the earth which exists. And they were in turn giving us oxygen and food. So it was a sustainable cycle on the earth which was existing for thousands and thousands of years, and there was no problem. But what happens after 1900? We added industries. We added more traffic, more vehicles, and we added air conditioners. Almost every building is air conditioned. In home, earlier we used to have only one AC in one room. Today, minimum 4 or 5 ACs are there in every house, at least in Delhi I see. So, what has happened? The natural system of trees and plants reached their ultimate limit. And on top of that, we started deforestation. We started moving from villages to the cities, converting the agricultural land to big cities, industrial areas. So the capacity of absorption capacity of these trees and plants has gone down. So what is the solution? This is the solution, that whatever extra is being created on the earth by industries, by human beings, and by our other things, that has to be absorbed by some system like Bunkerman system. So in Bunkerman, we provide a technology in which we collect all pollutions from the environment. We collect CO2, we collect all toxic gases, SOx, NOx, and after converting it, after observing it into our filters, we convert it to mineral-rich organic manure. This is being done in India. In my village, this manure is being prepared out of the pollution which we collect from the air. And this then manure goes to the roots and plants, of the trees, and in turn their production increases, they give more oxygen and they give more food. So this sustainable cycle again develops. So this is the technology, this is the philosophy which we use in Bunkerman. Now, you will be surprised to know, everybody is blaming industries, vehicles and other things for pollution. We do not know how much pollution we as human beings generate. Gentlemen, you will be surprised to know that in one inhaling and exhaling, one person multiplies the carbon dioxide content in air by a factor of 146. Calculations are here in this slide. Because when you inhale air, it contains only 300, 400, 500 ppm. That is 0.03% of the CO2, 0.04% of CO2. But the air which we exhale, it contains 4.38% of carbon dioxide. Fortunately, it gets dispersed into this environment which God has given us. Otherwise, we will all die if this environment is not there. Because if we exhale this air of 4.38% is 43,800 ppm. We cannot survive. आप नाप बंद करके देख लो इसको. आपने सांस अंदर लिया, हवा तो है अंदर, ऑक्सीजन भी है, सब कुछ है. आप 2 मिनट रुक सकते हैं क्या? नहीं रुक सकते, क्योंकि जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जनरेट हुई है दैट इज 43,500 ppm एक सांस में, जो आपकी बॉडी के अंदर है. सो दिस इज सच ए इम्पोर्टेंट फिनोमिनन एंड वी आर ओवरलुकिंग इट, और we are ignorant about it, or I will say that we are still not educated on this small issue. So we will show you. So the human beings are the biggest, one of the biggest pollution creating machine on earth. Now solution has to be found out by us only. Now see this chart. Whatever is in green, it is the CO2 on earth in India by 2000. This is the statistics of 2021. I have taken the official data which is on record. Everybody is talking of this green 72% CO2. But nobody is talking of this 13% CO2 which is generated on this earth by human beings, you and me. Then our pet animals, all living beings are generating CO2. In this room, we all are sitting here, we are generating CO2. Yesterday's data, if you want, if time is there, I can show you how it increased from 500 ppm, 600 ppm to 4200 ppm. It increased in this very room yesterday. And today also you can observe if you want. So, and gentlemen, for your information, we are talking grow more trees, grow more trees. One tree absorbs in a year only 20 to 25 kg of carbon dioxide. But one human being generates around 416 kg of carbon dioxide in a year. So you need 17 trees per person. If you just want to absorb the CO2 which you personally are producing, you need 17 trees per person. Then for your animals, you need another 20 trees. And if you want to absorb the CO2 which is generated by your vehicles, by the industries, you need another 94 trees. So in India, if you want to stop this rising trend of CO2 in environment, we need 113 trees per person. Whereas, how many trees we have got? We have just got, gentlemen, 28 trees per person. So now tell me, is it possible by saying grow more trees, can we ever reach the target of 131 from 28? Impossible. And look at the other countries. The countries on the left are having thousands and thousands of trees per person. USA, there is small country, Suriname is having more than, I think, 15,000 trees. Canada is having 9,000 trees. Russia is having more than 4,000 trees. So we should be thankful to these countries on left hand side because of which we are surviving. And we in India have only 28 trees per person. And see our neighbors, poor Pakistan, just 5 trees per person. Bangladesh 6 trees. Israel 2. Egypt 1. Singapore 0. Saudi Arabia 0. Qatar 0. UAE 0. And these are our neighboring countries who are affecting our atmosphere. So now you tell me, by growing more trees, can we ever achieve this? Can we stop this rising trend? Probably not. So what is the solution? Solution is this Bunkerman technology, which are giving you artificial trees. Today, gentlemen, in my house, I have placed these Bunkerman systems. You can visit it in D68 east of Kalas. My house is absorbing CO2 from the environment equivalent to 3,000 trees. People are coming and visiting that. See this. In this system, in this room, if we install our Bunkerman system, even 30 people are there. 30 into 17, how much? More than
500 trees.
So this equipment will be equivalent to about
500 trees.
it can absorb the CO2 in this. And another beauty is when we install this system along with the air conditioning system, it saves 50 to 60% electricity consumption, which is a big saving. You will be surprised to know. How we do it, I will explain you further. Otherwise, this first system, gentlemen, we installed in a refinery in Guwahati. They have got a central data system. This is from where entire refinery is controlled. This is about 85 meter long, 25 meter wide. Total area is 9,000 cubic meter. We installed it, and the problem was of rusting, the corrosion in their data center. These are the special gases which you may not have heard. In refineries, these are the toxic gases which were corroding their equipment. So we provided the equipment. This is the equipment of Bunkerman which we provided them. This requires just about 2 meter by 1 meter size room, 4 meter by 2 meter size room. Height is about 3 meters. And after that, we solved their corrosion problem totally. And earlier, they were running 3 chillers of 80 ton capacity each. So they used to run 160 ton was their load. But ever since we have provided the system, they are running only 1 chiller, and that too on 80% capacity. So their electricity saving When we install this system, gentlemen, first what it does, it reduces the design capacity of the AC plant by 25 to 30%. And then again when you run it, it gives you 25 to 30% electricity saving in running. Why? How it does it? Like in this system. AC, if you run the AC, because yesterday AC was not running, still AC is not running. If you run the AC in air conditioning system, there is a provision that you take fresh air from outside and add it inside. Why we do it? Because if it increases 1500 ppm, let us say, it should not exceed 1000 ppm. So we take the air from outside, which is having 500 ppm as a carbon dioxide content, and you mix this air. So this 1500 plus 500 average comes to 1000. And that is how we control that it should remain below 1000 ppm. But if you install the my system here, we absorb the CO2 inside only. So there is no requirement of air change. So in their case, they were using 4 to 12 air changes per hour. What we told them, you just take one air change in 24 hours. Because when you come, you should have a air change here. Like when we came yesterday, we found 1500 ppm. No, it should have been 500 ppm only. जो बाहर है वही होना चाहिए था अंदर. तो एक फ्रेश हवा ले लो सुबह, उसके बाद बंद कर दो, फिर ये सिस्टम चलाओ, अंदर की CO2 को अंदर ही एब्जॉर्ब करो, रात तक चलेगा आराम से, ऑक्सीजन की कमी नहीं पड़ेगी. बट CO2 बहुत जल्दी बढ़ता है. ऑक्सीजन 24 घंटे चल जाता है, 24 घंटे के बाद एक एयर चेंज ले लो, फ्रेश ऑक्सीजन की प्रॉब्लम भी दूर हो जाती है. सो दिस इज द सिस्टम. सो दे आर सेविंग इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड देन दे केम हियर एज ए केस स्टडी. देयर वाज ए कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल सोशल डेवलपमेंट एसोसिएशन. They presented a paper, and this is direct carbon capture at negative cost, gentlemen. The world scientists today are fighting to reduce the cost of direct carbon capture. Today, average international cost is $250 to $600 per ton, you must be knowing. But India, with this technology, we have brought this cost not only to zero but to negative. Today, they are earning 2 lakh rupees per month. Earlier, the electricity bill of that AC plant used to come 5 lakh rupees per month. Now it is 3 lakh rupees per month. So 2 lakh rupees per month they are saving. And within 2 years of time, their cost which they expended on this system, it is being recovered. So what a fantastic system. They got this ESDA Green Leadership Award because of this technology, and Guwahati refinery becomes the first refinery of the world which is now doing direct carbon capture at negative cost. Now come to green tunnel concept, gentlemen. The concept is that we capture the vehicular emission and we convert it into MROM. MROM is mineral rich organic manure. The technology is specialized filtration system which are made by Bunkerman. The pollution is collected in those filters. Filters are lasting for 7 months now in refinery Guwahati. They may probably last for another 5 to 6 months. So you collect the pollution in these filters. Once filters get saturated, we provide new filters, and from old filter material, we manufacture the mineral rich organic manure, which goes back to the roots of trees and plants, and it forms a sustainable ecosystem. Then ecological restoration re-establishes vegetation, flora, fauna around the tunnel. This is the concept of green technology. So these are the systems which can be installed just near the entry or exit point. And whatever is your ventilation system, we take part of the air from your ventilation system, it passes through our filters. So all toxic gases will be absorbed in these filters, like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, whatever is emitted. Even the smoke particles, the particulate matters will be absorbed, and you will get clean air. So you will not spoil the environment. The environment will remain clean, flora and fauna will develop further. So this is the concept. And after these filters get saturated, again we convert it into organic manure, give it to the farmers. Now benefits of tunnel, this green tunnels are environmental sustainability. It reduces pollution and CHG, means greenhouse gas emissions. Mitigation of global warming, climate change will take place, because if you reduce this carbon CHG content in the air, global warming will come down. Ecological advantages, it revives flora and fauna and improves the air quality. Economy, I have told you, in air conditioning plant, it achieves 50 to 60% saving in power consumption, which is a big saving. Green credits and carbon credits you can claim. I will show you, government has issued the instructions. You can accelerate net zero targets. Now all departments have been given net zero target. I think CBIP must have also been given. So with this technology, you can claim green credits or carbon credits and you can accelerate your process of becoming net zero. Then emergency preparedness tunnel can be used as a emergency shelters with this technology, because now some of the tunnels, there are huge tunnels being made now, and in case of any emergency, national emergency, these tunnels can be even used as a community disaster shelter with this technology of Bunkerman. I will explain you how it can be done. Then safety during construction. As I told you, what happens at Silkyara, Bunkerman is making the safety and survival kit for tunnels now. Now, these are the type of things which we are making. If you see these two devices, they just weigh about 1 kg. This is R&D has been completed now. Prototype model is being made in my factory in Baddi, Himachal Pradesh. What it does, you carry your device with you as you have come here. It is charged like your mobile is charged, and you switch it on. It will absorb all the CO2 which we are generating. So at least this will come in future, gentlemen, this will become your life cycle. If you have to save this earth, we have to carry these devices like we have come here. We should be carrying like this thermos flask is there. It is just this size. What is my water bottle here? It is having a small fan, switch it on. It is having a filter. The air will keep circulating. It will absorb CO2 and VOC. That's all. And the same device we intend giving to the tunnel workers. In Silkyara, let us say, if every person was having this individual CO2 and TVOC device, at least they will not get suffocated. What happens in that case? They remain in a small restricted space and everybody is emitting CO2 and VOCs. So they get suffocated and they have to survive. So we intend in this kit, we are giving them individual kit for CO2 TVOC removal, which is being developed. It will come in the market very soon. We also give them many oxygen cylinders. You must have seen now many oxygen cylinders are available. During Corona, you must have seen some people must have bought it also. So they are available. Give it as a part of the kit to them. Also give them emergency ration for few days. For 2 days, 3 days, they should be able to survive. If the person is trapped inside, this has to be made part of your contract, tunnel engineering contract. There should be some central place, some storage, and each individual must carry this very light kit so that he can survive. Also emergency tool kit. Something, he should have some tools. He will feel more confident that he is having something. But if he is barehanded, he will do nothing. So in this emergency toolkit, you give them some tools or some pechkas, some plier or something, even some excavator or even a battery bank. Now battery banks are available. You use battery bank for charging your mobile. So it will be required by them. So these are the items which can be kept in this safety survival toolkit for workers. The Government of India, gentlemen, has published a gazette notification in November 23 in which they have included this technology which is eligible for carbon credit and green credit now. So they say air pollution reduction to promote measures for reducing air pollution and other pollution abatement activities. Government is going to give you the green credits. The detailed guidelines are being formulated. Even there is a letter now for carbon credit. This is a letter issued recently by Government of India. They say that direct carbon capture, utilization and storage, you can claim carbon credits. So this Bunkerman technology is nothing but it is direct carbon capture and utilization into mineral-rich organic manure or storage in the form of mineral or organic manure. Now implementation strategy is, gentlemen, the design integration has to be done. We have to incorporate filtration system processing, ventilation system proposed by Bunkerman has to be integrated into your HVAC program. You must be already having HVAC system as part of your contract. So in that, this has to be integrated. Bunkerman safety and survival kit has to be integrated. Policy and regulations have to come by the department and by government. We have to establish standards. Tender specifications have to be made now and promote incentives like green credit program by Government of India and carbon credit program by Government of India. Government is already eager to support you. Now, in conclusions, I will say that Green Tunnel Initiative integrates environmental conservation with innovation, and it addresses the pollution control and ecological restoration. It also offers adaptability for emergency uses, contributing significantly to sustainable infrastructure strategies. We must adopt the sustainable processes today to save this earth for tomorrow. As I have told you, gentlemen, there is danger to the survival of human beings and life on this earth, and we have to act very fast because our next generation may not get a chance to do it, because the environment is changing at a very rapid rate. And firstly, in this, the public awareness and education is must. We call ourselves educated, but we are not, gentlemen. This situation, what you see in this hall, just one entry exit. Imagine if some emergency is there. And as it is, we have created a chamber. It was 1500, 1700 in the morning when I started my lecture. How much is now?
1958.
Now it is 1958, about 2000. So this increases. Every half an hour you will find an increase of 200 ppm. And that's why yesterday it reached 4200 ppm, yesterday. And this is happening in each house. We sleep with split AC on. Now tell me frankly, whenever you have slept overnight with split AC on and you get up in the morning, do you feel fresh? Do you feel energetic? Tell me honestly. Do you feel lethargic? Do you feel pain in your body? And the moment you get up in the morning, you feel like going out. Open the door, तो बाहर कुछ सांस ले लूँ. यहाँ से कल मैं अभी आप देखेंगे लंच के बाद आप आके देखिए और थोड़ा ऑब्जर्व कीजिए कि बाहर से फ्रेश हवा से आ रहे हैं, यहाँ एंटर करते ही कैसा फील होगा आपको. जब बैठे रहते हैं, हाँ, सिर्फ करना क्या, सिर्फ विंडो खोलने थी. इतनी अच्छी बिल्डिंग है, सब कुछ है, एक विंडो खोले, एक एग्जॉस्ट फैन लगाते. विंटर्स हैं आजकल, आपको एसी की जरूरत नहीं है, एसी बंद रखो, बट डोंट क्लोज द वेंटिलेशन. एंड दिस फुलिशनेस वी ऑल आर डूइंग. आई हैव सीन the conference on environmental safety on this subject only, global warming, climate change, taking place in 5-star hotels, Taj Hotel, Shangri-La Hotel. Ministers are addressing, and in front of them, I have taken the reading, shown it to them. Just see what is happening. Here, when this was inaugurated, you can see the photograph, you can see the videos. You will laugh at yourself or laugh at us. This is the bitter truth. So, firstly, public awareness and education is must. I am running a program in my house, Bunkerman house. You are welcome, know about this technology. On every Sunday, I am also conducting a Zoom meeting from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please attend that. Let us know, let us educate others what is happening to us. Otherwise, we will lose our children, we will lose our parents. Because this type of situation in which we are sitting, 2000, 3000 ppm, you can still bear it with it, you are young. But it is very, very dangerous for your infants and for your old people in the house. They cannot sustain, because there is IS code, IS 15879, Indian standards, which says that in breathing air, CO2 content should not exceed more than 500 ppm. It is laid down. ICU give oxygen to the patients, they check it. कि 500 ppm से ज़्यादा उसमें कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड नहीं होनी चाहिए. भगवान ने आपको दी थी 280, 500 हो गई है, बट हमने घर के अंदर क्यों उसको 2000, 3000, 5000 कर लिया है. प्लीज़ ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. सो एंड वी हैव टू प्लेज कि हमें दुनिया को तबाही से बचाना है और भारत को विश्व गुरु बनाना है. आई हैड रिटन टू प्राइम मिनिस्टर इन वेरी वेरी क्लियर वर्ड्स, सर टेक द लीड. ही टुक द लीड इन G20, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. इस टेक्नोलॉजी को वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की नीति पे चल के पूरी दुनिया को अपनाना पड़ेगा. खाली एक घर, दो घर से काम नहीं चलेगा. बट दिस हैज़ गॉट सच ए स्ट्रेंथ. अगर घर में हर एक में लगा दिया जाए, एक बेडरूम में लगाने से एक सिस्टम के 51 पेड़ों के बराबर CO2 खींचता है. आपका 4 बेडरूम का घर है, 200 पेड़ आपके घर में लग गए. 200 पेड़ लगाएंगे, लगाने में टाइम लगेगा, और वो 10 साल बाद इस लायक होते हैं कि वो कुछ इतनी CO2 सोख सकें. लेकिन ये सिस्टम आज से लगाओगे, आज से सोखना शुरू कर देता है. दूसरा, नेचुरल पेड़ जो हैं दिन में सोखते हैं CO2, रात में छोड़ते हैं उसका 50%. ये आर्टिफिशियल पेड़ ये दिन में भी सोखते हैं, रात में भी सोखते हैं. सो आई हैव गिवन, न्यूज़ भी आया है पेपर में कि कंक्रीट जंगल्स जिनको हम बोलते हैं, दिल्ली के कंक्रीट जंगल, Concrete jungles can clean the environment more than 1,000 times than the green forest. ये फैक्ट है, मैंने कैलकुलेशन करके दिखाया है। जब एक घर 200-500 पेड़ों के बराबर सोख सकता है, पूरे दिल्ली में अगर ये सिस्टम लग जाएं, और लगेंगे, ये लगाने पड़ेंगे, खासकर एयर कंडीशन बिल्डिंग में जेंटलमैन, देयर विल बी नो चॉइस। दिस बंकरमैन टेक्नोलॉजी इज ए चॉइस टुडे, इट विल बी ए कंपल्सन टुमारो। पेपर पब्लिश किया मैंने। क्यों होगा कंपल्सन? देखिए, भगवान ने 280 दिया था बाहर पीपीएम, जो आज 500 हो गया पढ़ के। कहाँ नहीं जाना चाहिए, हम 1000 से नीचे चाहते हैं इसको, लेकिन आने वाले टाइम में अगर ये 1000 और 1000 हो गया बाहर, तब क्या करोगे? एसी सिस्टम सारे फेल हो जाएंगे आपके। ये एसी सिस्टम जो अभी चल रहे हैं एयर चेंज पर आवर के बेसिस पे, फ्रेश एयर चेंज के, ये कॉन्सेप्ट ही खत्म हो जाएगा। जब बाहर भी 800 है और 800 की लिमिट है, 1000 की लिमिट है, तो क्या एयर चेंज कॉन्सेप्ट काम करेगा आगे एयर कंडीशनिंग डिजाइन में? नहीं करेगा। तो इट इज़ बेटर टू अडोप्ट इट टुडे। और 50% बिजली बचाओ। आप सोचिए कितना, घरों में और ऑफिस में, मेरी स्टडी है दिल्ली के अंदर भी 50 to 70% कंजम्पशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ऑन एयर कंडीशनिंग सिस्टम्स। आप भी अपने घर में देख लो, बिजली पंखे पे कितना बिजली खर्च करते हैं? बहुत कम। ज़्यादा बिजली आपका, एक एसी लगा दिया 10,000 रुपये का बिल आता होगा आपका, 8-10 हज़ार रुपये। तो एयर कंडीशनिंग लोड इज़ 50 to 70%। और इस लोड में अगर 50% की कटौती हो जाती है, कितनी बड़ी बचत होगी बिजली की। मैंने तो वीडियो कॉल करके बताया, दिल्ली की गवर्नमेंट आपको और बीजेपी को दोनों को बताया कि दोनों के दोनों फ्री बिजली देना चाहते हो जनता को। अभी दोनों कह रहे हैं ना कि हम फ्री बिजली देंगे, दीजिए, पर कहाँ से दोगे? पहले बचाओ बिजली। तो एक ऑप्शन है, टेक्नोलॉजी है, इसको इस्तेमाल कीजिए। सो थैंक यू जेंटलमैन। सो लेट इंडिया बी द वर्ल्ड लीडर। वाई? बिकॉज दिस इज इंडियन टेक्नोलॉजी, मेड इन इंडिया, मेड बाय इंडिया, and a agriculture rich country only can lead it, and time to do it is now. Thank you very much.